That's the upward. We're still going through a time where things aren't going to be settled. They're not going to be settled, even in the COVID. It's not going to be an overnight thing. But what's going to happen out of this pressure? Every single prophet has prophesied this for years now, and now they say it's here. It's what we call a glory awakening. The most glorious, I've just filled the presence of the Lord, the most glorious revival, miracles. And I tell you, some of this is going to come as a suddenly. Some of you have been contending. Listen to the word of the Lord. You've been contending and contending for revival. Maybe you're a revivalist, all right? You're a revivalist and you've been contending, but don't get weary. Don't get weary, because all of a sudden it's going to hit. I remember a good friend of mine, John Kilpatrick, in the Brownsville revival. I'm talking to him. I said, well, what led up to that? And he said, well, we prayed and prayed and prayed. We contended for 2 years, but I had no idea the morning it came, it was going to happen. He said, I didn't even really particularly want to go to church that Father's Day. And the power of God hit. The power of God fell. So what happened? That was a suddenly. So we need to expect the suddenly. We need to expect that God is getting ready to do something that will surprise and delight you. This is going to be a year of surprises. You can mark it down. This will be a year where God is going to surprise us. Now, the devil wants to surprise us, and the devil wants to tell us, okay, you're going down. And when you hear that in your mind, you know what you need to say? No, you're going down. You are going down.
I love that. Come on. Mm-hmm.
This reminds me, sorry, I got a tickle in my throat. James 4:7. Therefore, submit to God. In other words, if you're in submission, resist the devil and he will flee from you. What is this word? It's that same kind of antihistamine. And what does it mean, flee from you? Well, I did a study of this last night, and it means he's going to run in terror, baby. I mean, he is like, yeah.
Exactly.
You read the devil's worst nightmare. I remember one time I was preaching in the south of Argentina, Bahia Blanca, and it was so hard. I mean, we flew in there, and they all said to us, this is the evangelist graveyard. Nobody has ever been able to have, a move of God here. Carlos Anaconda came, and, maybe 50 people came. And, here I was, I think I was, maybe 41 or something. My faith level was, I like, is this supposed to be helping me? My faith level's going down. Bitter cold winter, just bitter cold, no heat in any of the buildings. And, so I just felt like Satan threw down a gauntlet to me, though. Like, okay, you're not getting anywhere here. But you know what? We resisted him. And I was teaching on breaking witchcraft. No, we resisted the devil. And what happened was the opera house flooded with people. I mean, packed. Great deliverance. I mean, people that were bound in macumba, all kinds of witchcraft, were manifesting, getting healed, getting saved, getting changed. I'll tell you what, if the devil is telling you you're not going to make it, the opposite is true. I'm saying this to you. If you think that you are not at a place where you're going to overcome, you start reading the Bible out loud. I love what the books that Wesley has written about this, praying the word. The word of God is alive and powerful. I mean, it's so supernatural. I mean, I can feel it when I'm just talking to you. I feel, what do you feel? Faith rise. Now, I want to tell you something I'm doing. Now, I want to mention you a little of this. I am my toolbox as a prophet. I can use many modes of prophesying. Sometimes I just prophesy, the word of the Lord comes straight, it's first person. But I am intentionally using the gift of exhortation for you. What's our job? We're to edify, encourage, exhort. I'm exhorting you. Why? Because if I give you the word straight about this next year, you might be on the floor. But if I tell you what God is saying about it, you understand? We should prophesy from heaven down, not the earth up. Eddie, I've heard so many prophets, and they're just telling you what they see for the future, but it's totally what the devil wants to do. No, that's not our job. We prophesy with hope from heaven down. We rule and reign in the third heaven. We rule, we are seated with him in heavenly places.